Despite vocal opposition from some on campus, the University of Maine has demolished what was its longest standing building. According to the leader of the Save Crossland Hall movement, the demolition did more than level a structure. It burned bridges too. Chief photographer Mark Redeker takes us to the site.
That building had so much value, and we tore it down for a handful of parking spaces.
This was the scene Wednesday morning in Orono, where crews razed Crossland Hall. It was the culmination of what the University of Maine called a nearly decade-long plan to remove the building, which it says was constructed in 1833. But even the basic detail of that founding date was a sticking point between the university and a group against the decision to remove the historic hall.
There were logs in the basement that proved that it was on another foundation that was much, much older. And it probably was either late 1700s or very early 1800s, so this building literally predated our state.
Lincoln Tyner is a leader in the Save Crossland Hall movement,
which unfortunately did not succeed.
And a lifelong Mainer. He says he and others are devastated by the loss of the building, which most recently served as home to UMaine's Franco-American Center.
And this was an old farmhouse that was in great condition, and it really represents all of Maine here. And to demolish that for a parking lot, it's such a loss of history and of identity, and to do it for just a handful of parking spaces is just such a slap in the face.
Future plans for the space do include the expansion of a nearby parking lot, part of an overall plan to restore 200 parking spaces displaced by other construction. The university also disagrees with Tyner's assessment of the condition of the building. School officials have said it would have taken $10 million to modernize and maintain.
We have stuff from the fireplace and different things for the Alumni Association.
Tyner says he and others collected what they could and documented what they couldn't before Crossland Hall disappeared for good.
I wish that we could have saved the actual place, because that's what made it, it brought it all together, and it spoke to all of that rich history. But we were able to recover at least what we could, and took some really great pieces to hopefully memorialize the place as best we could.
In a statement, a spokesperson for the University of Maine system said in part, quote, "We appreciate the strong attachment some have to this building despite its deteriorated condition. Our university remains deeply committed to the Franco-American Center, and its long overdue relocation is necessary to preserve and further promote Maine's rich Franco-American heritage and lived experiences." UMaine says it's spending $550,000 to permanently relocate the Franco-American Center into a renovated building, which is supposed to be completed next year. In the meantime, the university says it's spent $50,000 on renovations to the center's temporary space in Libby Hall.